Be ready for the longest wait of your life. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So good to have you here today. Today I'm actually filming a video that's a little bit different than my other videos. I wanted to film this video to kind of help people out with their college application process. So my name's Indigo, I'm currently a high school senior and I just finished the college application process, waiting on some of my decisions right now. But I wanted to make this to help you out, give you some tips that I wish I had. And before I get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I know that these types of videos reach a lot of people, but unfortunately they're not subscribed to the producer's channel. So I want to make sure that you go ahead and subscribe, and I'll go ahead and get into it. So I have a couple notes here, just some stuff that I want to jot down. If I look down, that's what I'm looking at. So my first tip is to start early. Start early on your applications, start early on your search, start early on your essays, because when it gets that time to, when it gets around November, December, everything is crunched at the same time. All the deadlines are at the same time, and so it just makes it a lot harder to separate your school from your breaks, from your applying, from your job if you have one. So I just suggest that you start early. I wish I would have started earlier, even though I got a good start on my applications, but I wish I would have started earlier. So that's my first tip to you juniors, sophomores, freshmen. You can even get a look at your common application early. They give you access to your application in 8th grade, and you can start to put in your activities and stuff. So I really suggest that you do that. It will help you out a lot. My next tip is to build a strong relationship with your counselors and an academic teacher. Your counselors, they will be your connection for your scholarships, for your colleges, for your recommendations, for your anything. Your college counselors, your school counselors, they know that's what they're there for. They're there to help you out. So I suggest, and I please start that and build that relationship early with your counselor, because they will stick with you, they will help you out, they will, send you those scholarships when they come out, they'll help you with your financial aid, all of that. So I just really think you should build that relationship. And I say an academic teacher because those recommendations, so oftentimes from colleges, they want it from like a core class teacher, like a math teacher, or like science teacher, so stuff like that. So I really suggest that you get in with your teachers, make sure you bring them an apple a day, stuff like don't bribe them, but like stuff like that. Like, make sure you got that relationship. My next tip is to apply to some safety schools. So I had a good tip from someone. They said for every reach school you apply to, try to apply to a match or safety for it, so that you don't get denied. It happens, so that you don't get denied from all these reach schools and you're left with no colleges. I've seen it happen before. I don't want that to happen to you. So I really want you to have those safeties, those backup, those close to home, those affordable schools, stuff like that. It'll help you out and you'll be happy when you get those easy acceptances. Brainstorm your college essay early. Okay, this is a hard one because I didn't do it, but I wish I did. I really wish that I came up with a topic for my college essay early. I wish I would have known what I was going to write about early. I wish I would have had more time to edit and started earlier. So do that. I cannot stress it enough. Start thinking about your essays. They're one of the most important part, if not the most important part, in your college applications. They say a lot about yourself and who you are as a person. That's what they really want to do. They want to get to know you, and they want to get to know if you're a good match for their college or for their university. Have at least one trusted adult and one person that you know read your essays. I made this mistake. Don't have a bunch of people read your essays. You're gonna get confused with all the different types of feedback you receive. So maybe have like a older sibling or your parent read over your essay. If you're not comfortable with that, maybe a friend, your best friend, and then have someone that where they're good with those grammatical errors, with the ideas and the structure and stuff like that, so they can give you those types of tips. It'll help you. I can't stress it enough. Make sure you have those two. Not more than 3. I wouldn't say more than 3 people reading your essays, because then it gets to be a lot of feedback and then you just get kind of like, okay, this is a lot. Who do I take? Who do I not? So stuff like that. Make sure that you have those people. Triple check for grammatical errors. I don't think that they're a huge thing for colleges, but if you have like 5 in one essay, that just doesn't look the best. It doesn't look the best. So just make sure you really read over your essays. That's a good tip, because I read over my, this is what you shouldn't do. This is another thing. Don't read over your essays after you submit them. You're gonna be upset. You're going to be upset. Don't read over your essays after you submit them. I did that. I found a couple of grammatical errors. Apply to some schools non-binding early action. And when I say this because it feels so good to get those few December, November, January decisions coming in while you're waiting on some other schools. While you have those early, deferrals, or those early acceptances, or even early rejections. It helps you to get a feel for what to expect when all your other colleges come in. I would suggest get some of those early decisions in. It'll really make you feel good, and it'll really keep you encouraged during the application process. Another thing is, a lot of people have trouble differentiating between early action, restrictive early action, and early decision. So early decision and restrictive early action, those are binding agreements. You're agreeing to go to those schools if you get in, and you have to drop out of any of your other schools. You have to rescind your application from all your other schools, and you're going to that school. The only exception is if you really can't afford that school, then they are not giving you enough financial aid, then you will be able to, I gotta go. You gotta be like, I gotta go. Okay. And then early action is just, you get your decision earlier, you put in the work earlier, you get the reward earlier. So you get to know if you got in or if you didn't a little bit earlier than the regular decision pool. Keep your grades up, keep your grades up, keep your grades up. Senior year is definitely a lot to juggle, but and I know senioritis kicks in. It's in me right now, but keep your grades up. You don't want to get in extenuating circumstances, you could get your acceptances revoked, but just keep your grades up. It makes sense. It'll help you. It'll make you feel better that you had a strong finish in your classes and in high school, and you can leave and be like, peace out, I did good, I'm proud of myself, goodbye. So just keep your grades up. During high school, do something that you're passionate about. Participate in an activity that you're passionate about that will align with the theme of your college application. By theme, I mean you want a certain theme to your whole application. You want to be this person with a main focus of who you are, and you want all these little other activities to be a part of that. I don't know what this was, but you get what I mean. You want all these other activities that you do, you want them to be a part of who you are. You don't want to volunteer in the sewers because it'll look good on your application. You want to do it because it follows, sure, it'll look good on your application, but you want to do it because it follows along with the path that you want to take yourself on your application. So that's what I would say. Have a buddy in this process. Have a buddy to complain to, have a buddy to vent to, have a buddy to talk about ideas with. Have a buddy throughout this process, because to go through it alone would take a huge toll on you. Have a buddy, have a parent, have a friend, have an aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew, somebody. You want them to be supporting you, and to have someone else, preferably someone else that's going through the same process as you. That would help a lot. It would help you a lot. It helps me a lot to see other people like, I'm not crazy, I'm going through the same thing. Try to find some communities online, some safe communities online that will of kids, seniors, parents who are all going through this process. I don't want to name out a few platforms, but I'm sure you could find them out there, and they would be really nice. It's nice to have that community, to know that you're not going through it alone. Be ready for the longest wait of your life. Between the time, let me tell you, let me get close. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Between the time that you press submit on those applications and you actually get those decisions, you are going to be itching, like like itching for your decisions because it is a pain. So I suggest you find a new hobby during that period. I definitely had one. I started a YouTube channel just to keep your mind off of applications, decisions, college, life. My last one for you all is to celebrate your victories. I used to have trouble with this. I used to have trouble with celebrating my victories. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still hard on myself. I have trouble celebrating my victories. This is a tip that I wish someone told me early on. Celebrate your victories. It could be the smallest things. I suggest you throw a party if you pass that exam that was on your back. I suggest you eat a cake or whatever you want if you made it through the day and you thought you were going to collapse or sleep in school. I suggest you celebrate yourself. I suggest you celebrate yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Your happiness depends on it and your sanity depends on it. Just make sure you celebrate your little victories. I started my applications. Celebrate. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had such a good time filming it. If you want a part 2 or if you want videos like it, make sure you like it, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you do all the things because I am glad to help. Follow my Instagram, I'll plug it in the comments. You can DM me. I'd love to help you through this process. I know it's a hard process to do alone, so just, you know, if you need that help or if you need that some more tips, just let me know. I will be happy to. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I am growing, I am thriving, but I can't do it without you. And thanks for going through it with me.